What it do, this little deal, Blockkingz Entertainment, coming at you one more time with another video. Now with this video, I want to give you 3 things you need to think about before you name your record label. Now starting a record label is easy. Taking the proper steps to get it off the ground should be your main goal as an executive producer. The reason I did this video is to take my mistake and give you insight on things you need to think about before you name your record label. Number 1 on the list, professionalism. Your business will depend on business. So setting it up from the start, you need to think of a professional name for your business to represent you. You want to come up with a name that's just as professional as you tend to run your business. You have to think about this. You know, it's just a matter of slowing yourself down and coming up with something better than Bullet in the Chamber Records. You need to kind of come up with something professional. Number 2, the second thing you want to think about when naming your record label is to keep it simple. Simplicity. You don't want the name of your record label to be too hard to say, too hard to spell, or too hard to write. The pronunciation should be there. Something easy. Make it easy. You're new. You're introducing your music to the world. You don't want to confuse them with stuff that really takes away from what you're trying to do. And when I first came up with my first record label, this is my second record label. My first record label was called Centrifugal Records. Yes, Centrifugal Records. SYNTRITHACLE record. Now, how I came up with that, I was young. I just put a bunch of words together and tried to come up with a name because I was thinking I wanted to come up with a word. Never came up with like you know how you got Exxon and stuff like that. I wanted to come up with a name, Centrifugal Record. But what I found out when I was sending in for reviews and interviews, stuff like that, people would call me and they'd be centrifugal. And half of the conversation was about trying to get the right pronunciation instead of what they were calling for in the first place. It was taken away from the business. So I was like, you know what? Balled it up and let's start over. You don't want to go on interviews. You don't want to go on TV. You don't want to go on video and somebody pronounce the name of your company wrong. If you just keep it simple, things will just flow better. It's something little, but trust me, it will irritate you and irritate you. I mean, that's just simple, straight, and to the point. Now, the third thing to think about when naming your record label is you gotta think long term. For any artist that plan on running their record label longer than 1 CD, 2 CDs, and 7 mixtapes, you have to think of your record label as a brand, like Cadillac, like Lincoln, like Mercedes, Lexus. These names have been around for a long time. You have to think long term instead of short term. Okay, right now it might be about everybody at one time was swagger this, swagger that. Swagger was a trendy word. It's not a word we're gonna use forever. I mean, just imagine if you called your record label Groovy Records. You need to think about long term instead of naming your record label at the short term thing like fads and trends, because once it goes up in smoke and people are on to the next thing, it'll basically cancel you out too. Which really goes back to professionalism. You want to kind of have a company that you wouldn't be ashamed to stand behind 10 years from now. As your record label grows, you want to kind of have a name. You need to think long term. I know right now you might have a rap label, you might have a rock and roll label, but as your business grows, what if you want to incorporate jazz music? What if you want to incorporate gospel music? What if you limit yourself by how you named your company? You know what I'm saying? Like Motown Records, it really didn't have they could have whatever on their record label. Don't limit yourself. If you got like a rap record label, you might want to incorporate R&B singers. You might want to, who knows where it can go. I know it's exciting when you first start out, but just keep your head, calm down, relax. Being an executive producer is a very promising career. I'm just giving you a few things to think about while you're at the starting line. Take these 3 things serious: professionalism, 2, keeping it simple, And 3, thinking long term. I did this video from experience, and I hope that it helps you. This is Lil D of Blockkingz Entertainment, just throwing another video at you. You can check out my music on my website. All the links can be found in the description box. For my subscribers and friends for my channel, I have music related articles. Just scroll through them and see which ones apply to you. They're alright for tweeting. My music is available now. That link is also in the descriptions. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for checking out my channel. This is Lil D of Blockkingz Entertainment. Peace.